I'm very happy to be here and talk a bit about my faculty. Also, if there are questions about the University of Groningen, I'm very happy. What you are seeing in the background, in my own background, but in the first slide, is the building of our faculty. Is the we call the building the Beurs, and it's a historic building in Leeuwarden. And today, I'm here to talk about my faculty because we are a very new faculty and we have very interesting degrees that might be appealing for people that are based in Taiwan. So that's what I'm here for. And I'll be talking about five degrees that we offer at the University of Groningen Campus Fryslân. Two are at the bachelor's level and three are at the master's level. And I will briefly talk about these programs. What are they? What is the content about? What kind of subjects you're going to have during the program? And also admissions requirements. And so that we can find out a bit more. At the end, I'm also going to give you information about admissions and how to stay connected and how to learn more about the programs through the web pages in case something is not clear today or you want to find out more or you want to connect with a student that is always possible. And in the end, we can have a Q&A because it's going to be challenging to talk and answer questions at the same time. So let's go through the presentation first and then we can continue with the Q&A at the end of the session. So my name is Amaranta Luna, and I'm the head of marketing, recruitment, and admissions at our faculty. My main role is talking to students, parents, representatives about what kind of degrees we offer at the faculty. I was traveling last week to Madrid and Lisbon because we always like to connect with prospective students and with also parents to tell them about the new degrees that we offer at our faculty. We offer not traditional degrees, so I'm always happy to see if their interests connect with the degrees that we have, and that's why I'm also here today to talk about our program. I'm originally from Mexico, but I've been living in the Netherlands for 15 years. I also started my journey as a student, as an international student, and I never left because I really love it, and I've been working for the University of Groningen almost 14 years now after my graduation. So that's why I'm very proud to represent the University of Groningen and Campus Fryslân as well. Our faculty is the youngest faculty of the University of Groningen. We started almost 9 years ago, almost 10 years ago. And now, since almost 10 years ago, the University of Groningen has two locations. The main one, the most well-known, that is the city of Groningen, but also we are located in the city of Leeuwarden, and that's where my faculty is located. In the north of the Netherlands, we only have one research university, that is the University of Groningen, and we are very proud that we are covering kind of the entire area of the north of the Netherlands with these two campuses. The reason why my faculty was founded is that because the University of Groningen wanted to focus on innovative interdisciplinary degrees, and that's what we are focusing on. We not only do education, but we also do research, and that is something that makes us very unique at Campus Fryslân. Our degrees are non-traditional, they are very forward-thinking, future-oriented, and we focus a lot on what the challenges, what societal challenges are there. And we look at those societal challenges from different lenses. That's why the names of our degrees are, unique. We don't do international relations or economics and business, but we do sustainable entrepreneurship, global responsibility, and leadership. So, and we are very proud of being an international community. So this is something very unique. So let's dive into our bachelor programs. The first one is Data Science and Society. This program is a bachelor's program. All our bachelor's programs at the University of Groningen are 3 years. And maybe you are very well acquainted with data science degrees, where people are trained to deal with a lot of data sets and yeah, dive into it and come up with the conclusions of those data sets. And that is kind of the traditional data sciences degree. We launch a new degree that also integrates the societal lens. What we learn is that people not only need to be trained as a data scientist, but they need to do three things also. They need to know how to communicate data science results to audiences that are not related and they don't understand data science. So, for example, municipalities that they don't know how to deal with all the data that they have, or how to, when a decision has been made by government or based on a set of data, how do they communicate it to the public? Another thing is how to visualize data and to make it accessible to everyone. And the third thing is how to deal with data from a governance law and ethics perspective. That's something that in a normal data science degree you are not trained for. So that is why this degree is more forward thinking compared to a data science degree. And within this degree, you can have two specializations. You can go more into cognitive technology, or you can go more into AI and society. And all our degrees have a kind of practical component, and I will tell you more about these uh, in the next slides. So, like I mentioned before, we have 3 years bachelor's program. In the first year, all students have the same subjects. So these are the subjects that the students that will start the program Data Science and Society will be taking. And this is to give you foundations in data science as well as data visualization and governance, law, and human rights. Then during the second year, students continue with the reddish ones. These are the subjects that are set for the program. But then here we have the blue ones are the practical components. In the simulation exercise, the academic staff launch a challenge and students have to work in groups to solve that challenge. And they all focus on different things. In the field project, they have an internship that we provide to the students with our industry partners. And they work throughout one semester with that industry partner, and it's great for developing your professional skills. Then during the second year, students decide if they want to do a specialization. And like I mentioned before, there are two specializations, cognitive technology or artificial intelligence and society. The cognitive technologies for people that would like to focus more on how to make AI sound more human. That's the technology, how technology and human thinking interact. And these are the courses that you will be taking during this specialization. The AI and society focuses more on AI regulations and advanced technical skills on AI. And these are the courses that you will be taking if you choose for that specialization. Then next to that, like I mentioned before, we have the field projects where people, students already work with an industry partner. And this is something that we provide, and that's very unique for programs. Usually students have to look for their own internships. Within the program, we already offer that internship. And when I share the presentation, you can scan the QR code to read more about how students really enjoy having that opportunity to already develop their professional skills working with one of our partners. And this is to give you an idea of the field projects that we had in 2025. And these are some of the companies that we work with. For example, next year, we are also going to be working with Philips and Deloitte, that are international international companies, well known all around the world, and they decided to work with our students on these field projects. During the second year, during the last year, students can also choose for a minor. So there are options for students to kind of build their own curriculum. The minor is 1 semester. They can go and study abroad. They can decide to do another internship, or they can decide to do a minor within a Dutch university, and there are lots of minors. And then the last part, they focus on the advanced projects and writing their bachelor thesis. And this is how the program looks like briefly, in a nutshell, just to give you an idea of the program, because I have to talk about 4 more. So I just gave a brief summary of the program. What we see our students doing after a degree in data science and society is diving into more expertise fields, and this is a compilation of the degrees, master programs that they have followed after graduation. And what we also see is that many of our graduates start working right after graduation without doing a master's, and these are some of the jobs that they have ended up with. There is a huge need for data scientists that are more all-rounded and that they have these skills. So it's something that in the Netherlands, students, especially for those that are not Europeans and they worry about getting a job after graduation, because after graduating from a university, you have 1 year. The government gives you 1 year a free work visa to look for a job, and we see more and more demand and people being able to find a job after graduation. The other degree that we have is for students that are more is less technical. So data science and society is a lot of technical skills, learning about programming, about data science, visualization, statistics. If you are more interested in the social sciences, sustainability perspective, we have the Global Responsibility and Leadership Program. We are very proud of this program because for 4 times in a row, for 4 years in a row, it has been labeled the best bachelor's program in the Netherlands. And this is based on evaluations from our own students and graduates. So we are very, very proud that our students and graduates are happy with the program and have rated us the best bachelor program in the Netherlands for 4 years. This program, as I mentioned before, focuses on sustainability, on training you to be a sustainability expert to tackle the different challenges that we are facing in this world at the moment. Name it polarization in politics, climate adaptation, climate change, energy transition, um, pandemics, for example, mental health at the global level. So these are the subjects that you will be studying in. We do it from an interdisciplinary perspective, meaning that the students focus on different disciplines throughout the program, but it also compares with the other program. We also have a practical component, and I will tell you more a little bit later. Similar to data science and society, students have a lot of space here to create their own curriculum, even more than with the previous program. So how does it work? The first year is foundation, and the second and third year, students kind of design their own curriculum, and I can tell you more about it here. The first year is what we call the knowledge and skills courses. Once you start the program, the first year is fixed for you. What we want is that first you're introduced to all the foundation courses. In order to become a sustainability expert, you need to understand sustainability from global, psychological, social sciences, humanities, environmental science perspectives. Therefore, those are the courses that you will be introduced to during the first year. Next to that, it is important that now that you start university, you develop your research skills. And therefore, we have the skills lab with these 4 courses that will help you develop research and policy in the second and third year. And because the degree is called Global Responsibility and Leadership, throughout the 3 years, this is a component that lasts throughout the 3 years, you dive into the leadership labs as well as developing your own personal leadership lab, because what the program supports you with is understanding what kind of leader you are, how you're contributing to the community and society around you, and that's what we focus in the program. And next to that, the courses on ethics and responsibility. So that is how the first year of Global Responsibility and Leadership program looks like. The second year is, like I mentioned before, the second and third year are for students to design their own curriculum based on what we offer. And that's where you can start choosing. In the second year, you can choose to specialize in one major. So if you are more into environmental sciences, energy transition, students usually choose the major on energy, ecology, and climate, where they have these 2 tracks. If people are more into culture, anthropology, psychology, and global health, they do the culture and psychology and global health major. And you're more into international relations, politics, and economics, they can choose for politics, economics, philosophy, and economics. Students have to choose one major, but there is always a possibility to follow a track from the other two majors. So that is something that the students build with the support of our study advisor and our academic staff. Once you have chose your major, you have many courses to choose from for that major. And then also during the second year, similar to the Data Science and Society program, we have an internship that is provided by the program when in one semester students work with some partner that we have from different governments, NGOs, industry partners. So it's very similar to what I explained in the previous program. One semester where students get to develop their professional skills and get to apply the knowledge that they have already learned during the first year. These are examples of the Living Lab projects that we hosted in 2025. And yeah, you might recognize some of these these partners because some of them are quite international. The other ones are more regional and national. There is always partners that meet the interests of the students. Some are more politics focused, or they're more environmental, or they're more psychology focus, so you can choose the Living Lab project that you want to focus on. And then the last year is the minor and the last semester. And it's the same as the previous program. You can choose from study abroad. Actually, we have right now 3 students studying in Taiwan. Taiwan is very popular for our students, and we always offer a study abroad in Taiwan. But we have I think 70 plus partners for the program, for the faculty that the students can choose from. So at the moment, we have people in Colombia, in Mexico, Brazil, different parts in Europe, Japan, Indonesia, Australia, New Zealand. It is up to you to choose the partner. You can also do another internship or do a minor in the Netherlands. After graduation, these are the different master programs that the students that follow our program have focused on. And as you can see, it's very diverse, the paths that they follow after graduation. Then also after graduation, these are some of the job profiles that our students ended up with. Similar to the other program, we do see many of our students getting a job after graduation, especially in the north of the Netherlands, because we work with many partners in the north of the Netherlands. And by participating in the Living Lab or the field projects, industry partners get to know the skills of our students, and they think, oh, I do want this person working with me because it meets the profile that I'm looking for. And it's up to you. You can decide to continue with the master's program, but we do see more and more work opportunities after graduation. And maybe you can work for a year or two, gather some work experience, and then continue with the master's program after you have an idea of what the working looks like. So these are our bachelor programs: Data Science and Society and Global Responsibility and Leadership. And now I'm going to talk briefly about the program at master's level that is Sustainable Entrepreneurship. And I think you might already see that we focus a lot on sustainability degrees. So Sustainable Entrepreneurship is a program that was developed almost also 10 years ago, and is very driven by everything that is happening in the north of the Netherlands. There is a movement to move towards circular economy. So the program in Sustainable Entrepreneurship is that having and train students that are mission driven, creative, and innovative, and that focus on circular economy, sustainable transitions in the business and economics field. And all this to have a positive impact, not only in our society, but also on our earth and the way of living of people. So similar to all our degrees, it is multidisciplinary. Students do not only focus on business and management, but it is important to understand business and management from the behavioral psychology and sociology sciences as well, because it talks a lot about the decision making that organizations take, the behavior of a leader as well. So it is important to have a background in these sciences as well. The way that the program work is also very applied. They do a lot of, for example, the program this year started with a field trip with all our own, industry partners to see what kind of sustainable entrepreneurship ideas they are investing in their business. So there is a lot of work outside the classroom. In the classroom, there is always a lecture on theory, and then students have to apply it through different ways of assessment, either group work, academic debates, or lab sessions. At the end, there is always a sustainable entrepreneurship project where students can put in already in practice what they have learned, and is usually also connected with one of our partners in the region. There is a close contact with people, with industries in the region as well, because we are hosted by the province of Friesland, and Friesland wants to be fully circular by 2030. So that means that there is a lot of opportunities, a lot of things happening in the region, and there is a lot of need for sustainable entrepreneurs that are graduated from this program. So what the program looks like? What kind of subjects you take during this program? Before we do that, this is the program overview. The first part always focuses similar to other programs on the foundations. You learn the foundations of sustainable entrepreneurship. You start learning about what a sustainable leader looks like, what are the skills, competencies that they need, and you start reflecting also on who you are as a sustainable leader. Then you start to focus on a strategy of sustainable entrepreneurship, and then you dive more into the first part is more learning the foundations of sustainable entrepreneurship and leadership from others and yourself. And then you move towards the organization part, what kind of new business economic realities we are living in. Circular economy is a new field, so we will be talking a lot about circular economy, about transition economy. And then you focus on the organization and what is needed in order for an organization to move towards sustainable business. And because you'll have to write a thesis also as part of the program, you start working on research design. Then you focus more on so individual, organization, and more what happens when you transition, what things need to change, what kind of support you need in order to do the transition to sustainable entrepreneurship. So you do a course on performance, a policy course to also learn how governments and other companies work on this, and learning about context, which is very important for sustainable business to transition all together. Like what kind of resources are there? Is government supporting? Is the society aware of the need for this transition? Then in the last part of the program, you focus on writing your master thesis, that is the project, and you also present the results of your thesis in a Campus Fryslân conference where partners come to listen to that presentation. And from there is a lot of connections again for getting a job. Because these degrees, like I said, they are very well embedded within the region. Our partners are always kind of looking, scouting for young talent. So what are you going to learn during? It's a 1 year master's program. Compared to other degrees that usually you have to take to invest 2 years. This is 1 year, and you are going to develop your leadership knowledge for yourself, for others, as well as alliance building skills. So that's part of the network and context that I talk about in the last slide. And you look at all the sustainability challenges that we are facing from a business perspective, from a different perspective, from the social science, behavioral science, and sociology sciences. And like I mentioned before, you work a lot on real life challenges, on things that companies currently are facing. These are some of the organizations that our students have worked with, and all our programs offer that. There is always the opportunity to connect with an industry partner and to do real world, real life problems within your thesis, within your courses. So this is something that makes us unique as a faculty, that we are always connected with the industry in the region. So these are some of the companies that our students work with for their thesis. And in terms of career perspectives after graduation, we see a lot of students developing their own sustainable business. That's something that is the sustainable entrepreneur part. But we see a lot of our students be more into the policy analysis, sustainability consultant, sustainability officer, either in profit or not profit organizations. So this is what the program looks like on sustainable entrepreneurship. And for those that are interested in a more technical degree that is more AI oriented, new technologies, we have the master program on speech technology. And the speech technology focuses on innovation, on speech synthesis innovation, on how to make AI sound more human, but also make it more inclusive, interact with that AI also has the opportunity for minority languages, for example, to be accessible as Siri, for example, or as Alexa, that there is, and this comes from, we are also based in Friesland, and Friesland has its own language, is Frisian. So we have noticed that some of these minority languages are not integrated into this new AI and speech synthesis communication. So that's something that this program builds the expertise in. It's interdisciplinary because it's not only for people that are interested in linguistics, but also people that are interested in computer science and emerging technologies as well. And like I mentioned before, because of the need of making AI more human, but also including things that we haven't thought of, such as minority languages or people that have impairing a voice or listening issues. That's why this program is quite unique, and it's a mix of linguistics, computer science, and technology. What are you going to learn here? You're going to learn to have a theoretical background in speech synthesis and ISR, as well as start building your own speech recognition projects. And at the end of the master's, you create your own speech tech demo as your final project based on all the things that you learned during the program. How does the program looks like? The first and all our programs are very similar. The first part is foundation. So because people come from the linguistics field or the computer science, and sometimes they come from fields that are not either linguistics or computer science, the first part focuses on having foundations on what is the speech technology, learning how to programming or advancing your programming skills, as well as being introduced to speech sounds theory. The second part, you focus more on the part of building those demos, and you learn more about machine learning, speech recognition, and speech synthesis to advance more into the expertise level within the program. And then the third part are the advanced courses, as well as starting working on your research skills by the thesis design. And the last block of the program focuses only on the thesis project. And like I mentioned before, at the end of the program, you have to present a speech technology demo. A lot of possibilities also to collaborate with partners are presented in this degree, and these are some of the collaborations that we have within the program as part of the practical component of the program. We just hosted at the end of August, a speech synthesis conference where people from Apple and Google were present there, and our students presented as well their demos within this conference that was hosted in Leeuwarden. Some of the careers perspectives after graduating are listed here. Is really focusing on the speech synthesis and becoming an specialist, either as an analyst or an engineer. What we also often see is our students continue their university level education by doing PhDs. And we have many graduates that are currently doing a PhD in the Netherlands, in the United States, and in Denmark. So also continuing with a PhD research after graduation is a possibility. And lastly, we have the program Sustainable Futures, that is basically the continuation of our first degree, Global Responsibility and Leadership. This is for students that maybe did a more traditional degree and would like to transition to becoming a sustainability consultant. Then this is the degree for you. Within the Sustainable Futures program, we focus on understanding the relationships between people more than humans. And for this, we talk about plants, animals, and the earth, and then sustainability. And it's really about training you to become a sustainability consultant to understand what are the global challenges in terms of sustainability that we are facing. The degree comes and focuses on subjects such as geography and more the cultural part of geography, social sciences, and it is enriched by diving into different learning methods within the classroom. There is a strong focus on sustainability, and that's why it's very similar to the Global Responsibility and Leadership program, but at master's level. And it focuses on the ethics of sustainability and looks at sustainability from a people, places, and ecosystem lenses. Mm, yeah, I think I'd already kind of mentioned this. A very unique program. The field on sustainable futures is something that is slowly taking off in Europe, but also in the United States, and that we are going to see more and more of these programs being given. I think at the moment, before we launched it, we did research. There are only two more sustainable future programs in the entire world. So this is quite unique program. This is an overview of the subjects that you're going to be focusing on. You focus a lot because it's a mix of social sciences, geography, anthropology, culture. You focus on climate adaptation, but learning about nature-based solutions, as well as looking into the more geography courses, as well as migration courses. And as you can see here, this one should be here because the introduction to sustainable futures to understand what the field is about. And then you continue your training in adaptation, ecosystems, migration, tourism, as well as the cultural component. So this is the program. Similar to what we offer with all our programs, we also work with partners, and this is an overview of the partners where our students from this degree did their thesis or internship in. This program is transitioning from, we used to have a program called Cultural Geography that offered two tracks, sustainable tourism and climate adaptation. And now we did a new design of the program, and now it's known as Sustainable Futures. And we no longer offer the specializations, but the subjects focus on all these fields. So, and what we usually see our students ending up at is as yeah, basically sustainability consultant in the different fields. It can be the tourism field, the environmental field, or more general in the sustainability field. So that was it for the master programs. And I think you saw the red thread. We have unique features of our master programs. They are small scale, meaning that we have about 30 to 40 students in the classroom compared to larger master programs where sometimes there are like 60 or 100. So there is a lot of interaction between the students, but also the lecturer. We have diverse assessment compared to other traditional programs where you like study throughout 8 weeks and then you have a final exam, you are assessed throughout the 8 weeks. So there is usually less pressure at the end of the semester and you don't have these like huge final exams. Very international in our faculty. We focus that we aim at having at least 50% international students and 50% Frisian Dutch. So you will meet people from all over the world. The CF community is very tight. All our bachelor and master students always socialize with each other. We have a very active study association that, yeah, thinks of many events, social, cultural, more arts related events, but there is always something to do every week at Campus Fryslân. Interdisciplinary, you saw it. We combine in one degree different disciplines that we believe are important to know for that specific program. And yeah, future oriented. We are focusing a lot on the transitions that we are seeing right now in our society. Name it sustainable entrepreneurship, speech technology, or sustainability with the sustainable future. So yeah, that is an overview of our programs. I hope you understood and have now yeah, an idea of what we offer at Campus Friesland. And I think something that is always very important to know for prospective students is the admissions requirements. So if we are talking about the bachelor programs, the admission criteria for data science in society is having a diploma that is equivalent to the Dutch diploma, the English proficiency, and I have listed here all the exams that we accept, as well as having mathematics. Because there is a lot of programming and statistics, it is important that you have the right level of mathematics when starting the program. And the admission criteria for the GRL program, the Global Responsibility and Leadership, is very similar, having the diploma that is equivalent to the Dutch diploma, having the English proficiency, but because it's a program where you design your own curriculum, is more open. We also ask that you write a motivation letter and let us know why would you like to study the program, as well as sending us your curriculum to find out how active were you during your high school, and how and the things that you did next to your studies. Then the admission requirements for the master programs, for the sustainable entrepreneurship, it is important that you have a business or economics related bachelor's program so you can enter the sustainable entrepreneurship program. They look as well as you having written a bachelor thesis or having had research methods within your bachelor's degree, and the English proficiency as well. In case you do not meet the educational requirements, we offer a pre-masters, and our pre-masters are also very accessible. For example, the pre-master for sustainable entrepreneurship is a 9-week program where you can also follow it online if you want it. We start this pre-master every year in February. So if you want to apply for it, and you want to start in September 2006, the Sustainable Entrepreneurship Program, you can already apply for the pre-masters. The admissions criteria for speech technology is having a degree in either linguistics, artificial intelligence, or computer science, and similar with the English proficiency. And we also offer a pre-master that is fully online that can be followed before the start of the program in order to get you at the level that is necessary to follow the program. The program is very open to accepting the students that do not come from these fields, but would like to transition to speech technology field. And that's why the pre-master program is open for everyone. Then for sustainable futures, if you come from a field in geography, tourism, liberal arts and sciences, or social sciences, you can be admitted to the program. Similar to the other programs, we also offer a pre-master where you take courses at our faculty in research methods and data analysis. So yeah, just have also a look at the pre-masters in case you don't meet those requirements. Mm, And lastly, how the application procedure works. For every time that you want to apply for a Dutch institution, you first have to apply through StudyLink, that is the national admission system. There is an application fee of 100 euros for diplomas that are not non-Dutch diplomas. So before we review your application, you will have to pay those 100 euros in order for us to review your application. And these 100 euros are paid for our admissions officers to do the job or of ensuring that you meet the educational background requirements. And then after that, a student links you to our admission system that is called Progress. And there you can complete your application by submitting all the documents that are needed for the application. Once you submit it, we review it, and it takes us between 2 to 8 weeks to give you an answer about your acceptance to the program. Applications always open on October 1st and close on May 1st. I always recommend students to apply as soon as possible because we are less busy in the period from October till February, March. But after February, it gets very busy because we receive more applications. We always review applications on a rolling basis. So if you send your application now, we will let you know more or less in December if you are admitted to the program, or even earlier if it's not that busy. Mm, and tuition fees, I think that is also quite important. Tuition fees you can see them there for the two programs and the master programs. For the master programs, the tuition fees are the same, and all our master programs are 1 year. And then for the data science and society, these are the tuition fees. It all depends on your nationality. If you have a European Union passport, you pay less money because the Dutch government has a subsidy for European citizens. And for the global responsibility and leadership program, the tuition fees are higher because it's more small scale, it's personalized education, and you have more components to design your own curriculum. And lastly, if you want to stay connected, you can always, I will send the presentation, but you can always, yeah, go to the program pages of each of the programs. And there we always have information about upcoming events. We also offer events online. So if you want to join us and learn more about the programs, but we also have a very active Instagram and TikTok account where you can see live at Campus Fryslân and in Leeuwarden. And if you have any questions, you can always contact me via email, and I'll be happy to meet you and answer all your questions. So this is it from me. Do you have any questions? You can write them in the chat. You can use the microphone. You can also do it in Mandarin, and all will translate for me. Oh, there is something I think in the chat. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Daria, after completing a master's degree in sustainable entrepreneurship, can a foreign student stay in the Netherlands to work? What kind of companies do they typically join? Yes, after graduating from a bachelor's degree or a master's degree, you always get 1 year of visa and work permit free. That's what we call like the search year. So after graduation, you can apply for it and you get 1 year to, yeah, apply for jobs in the Netherlands. Our students usually do that, and they find jobs with different companies. You can decide to stay in the north of the Netherlands, and we have companies such as Friesland Campina, Datamaran, Circular Economy, and even the municipality where students are working, but also other national companies as well or international companies that are based in the Netherlands. So, yeah, we see many of our international students, especially those that do not have a European passport, finding job after graduation. We recently did a survey, and it takes between 2 to 4 months for our international students to find a job in the Netherlands. after graduation. And we also have a study advisor that guides you to the process of applying for a job. They also provide you with a CV review to ensure that yeah, you have a strong curriculum where you can also showcase all the things that you have done during the master's program. And another thing, they also help you to review your motivation letters when applying for a job. So there is also, next to having the possibility of apply for jobs, there is also a lot of support to help you get a job. And like I mentioned also during the program, during the presentation, for sustainable entrepreneurship, we also see more and more students applying for a PhD position to continue doing research. And a lot of them stay with us at Campus Fryslân. So at the moment, we have three people doing, three or four, doing their PhD research with us after graduating from speech tech. And also, I know we have speech tech and from sustainable entrepreneurship. They are continuing their career with us. Hope that that gives you an answer. Nice. Are there any other questions? Is there a school dormitory available? Yeah, there are different options. So the way that it works with the University of Groningen and is similar for Groningen and Leeuwarden, we have our faculty buildings, and then people and students live all around the city because there are many ways of finding housing. So if we are talking about the program Global Responsibility and Leadership, students have guaranteed housing. So once they get admitted to the program, we send them the information for our housing facility and they can live there. And they can decide to live there 1 or 3 years, but what we see is that they often move out after the first year. And for the master program students and the data science and society program, we have available information on how to find housing in Leeuwarden. We noticed that it's way easier than in other Dutch cities. There is more options for housing, and we have a good partner that we collaborate with that offers housing that is within 5 to 10 minutes walking from our faculty. And usually students tend to find accommodation there. So in general, we don't see students struggling with finding accommodation. And if you are applying for the Global Responsibility and Leadership Program and get accepted, then you have guaranteed housing. But yeah, there is no school dormitory, but there are different housing facilities all around the city where our students live. And yeah, so I hope that answers your question. Do we have any other questions? This is another one. I was homeschooled student in high school, and right now I am a college freshman in Taiwan, and am I qualified to apply for the bachelor's program? I don't know what kind of diploma you did when you were homeschooled at high school level. We usually focus on you finalizing a degree that is equivalent to the Dutch high school diploma. That can be the International Baccalaureate, the European one, the A levels, or if you follow the American high school system, that you have at least three AP courses. But if you're currently enrolled at a bachelor program, it might be that after you pass in the first year of your bachelor's program, it might be that you are eligible to make the transition to apply for a bachelor's degree program in the Netherlands. But this is a very specific admissions question, and it has to do with reviewing your documents. So I will suggest that if you want to know more that you contact me because then we can have a more I can with the help of one of our admissions officers I can give you more information about it because it also depends on the program that you want to apply for. So there is my email address here. So feel free to write me a message, an email, and we can have a talk. You're welcome. Does the SE program requires a GRE or a GMAT test? No, no. And I think that is very interesting for people that would like to continue with a business degree, master's business degree after graduation. No, we don't require that. That is very common for other faculties, not for ours, because another thing that we have in our faculties, we want to move away from the traditional admissions requirements. We do believe that people can transition from one discipline or field to another, and the GMAT or the GRE makes it quite restrictive. Only certain people and points are allowed. So no, we focus more on you having a background on business related degrees as well as research methods is quite important. And if you don't meet those requirements, we have the pre-master program to make sure that you are at the level before starting the program. But yeah, you're welcome. Nice questions. I love it. That also, this type of questions also make me think more about the different profiles that we have for applying to the program. So thank you so much. And often people ask us about the GMAT for sustainable entrepreneurship. And I think based on that, we should put it more, it should be more visible in our program page as well. Nice. Any other question? What score of IELTS will I need for applying to the bachelor's program? Yes, the scores are also in the here. So for the IELTS, it is important that you have an overall of 6.5. And in the different parts, you need a minimum of 6. You can also go for Cambridge or for TOEFL. And we have added 2 new English certificates. It's very new information. There is also the Pearson certificate, but I don't, because it's very new, I don't remember the information anymore. Thank you. Can I know more about scholarship applications? Oh, that's also a very interesting question. We do offer some scholarships, not for all levels, but for example, for the Global Responsibility and Leadership Program, every year we offer a scholarship for non-European students because they pay higher tuition fees. And it's then if you get, we only offer one scholarship, so it's quite competitive. It's one scholarship that is in total 30,000 euros. So students get 10,000 euros per year to support their living expenses. But recently, because we also work with a lot of industry partners and they see the value of our degrees, we are going to launch next week different scholarships for the different programs. And I don't have the information yet, but what I will suggest is that you um, check our website because there are going to be a small scholarships for non-EU students applying for our master's program, but also for the data science and society degree to support, yeah, the cost. And especially goes towards living expenses, but because it's a very new information, one partner decided to support us with the scholarships. I don't know it yet, but you can always check the website in the coming week. We will publish all the scholarship options there. We also offer for our master programs, now that I remember, the Holland scholarship. That is 5,000 euros that if you get granted by the Holland scholarship and you get accepted to one of our master programs, you get the Holland scholarship that is 5,000 euros to support your studies. And we have for that one per program, one for sustainable entrepreneurship, one for speech tech, and one for sustainable futures. Nice. Let me see. I think. Oh, there is another one. After applying master, when do students receive the results? Yeah, depends. If you apply between now until like end of February, beginning of March, it takes us between 2 to 4 weeks to give you an answer. And because we receive less applications in this period. But if you apply in March till May 1st, that is the deadline, it can take us up to 8 weeks to get back to you because we have more applications then and it takes longer. So I always recommend students because the admissions application is already open to apply as soon as possible. Because if you apply by May 1st, it will take us sometimes until end of July to give you an answer, and that is quite late to start with all the other things that you need to arrange, such as housing, visa, and so on. Like, yeah. If there are any other questions later on after you are resting and at home, please feel free to contact me via email. And yeah, I think there are no other questions. So thank you so much for being here. It was very nice to see so many people joining the session today. And yeah, I hope to see one of you in Leeuwarden in the coming future. And feel free to contact me if you have any questions. I'll be happy to put you in touch with the right person or provide you with the right information. And to Dual, thank you so much for hosting. This is the first time we do it, and I'm very happy that it worked out fine.